In the Almanack of Naval Ravikant, Eric Jorgenson gathers significant ideas from Twitter, blog posts, and podcasts to share the wisdom of a Silicon Valley icon, Naval Ravikant. Naval is an entrepreneur, a self-taught investor, and a philosopher, and a lot can be learned from him. Wealth and happiness are two main life objectives that can be elusive. However, Naval believes that these are skills you can learn. He offers up his wisdom to help others create their own path towards a wealthier and happier life. Wealth isn't about hard work. Accumulating wealth is not just about working hard and putting in your time. Getting rich is about knowing what to do, having the entities to do it with, and finding the right time to do it. Hard work is of course important, but it must be efficiently directed. In one of his tweets, Naval Ravikant instructed his audience not to seek money or status, but aim for wealth. And to have a clear understanding of what wealth is, Naval describes it as an asset that you earn while sleeping. Money is just a means used to transfer wealth and time, while status is simply your place in the social hierarchy. Furthermore, money is the ability to have credits and debits of other people's time, by doing your job right and creating value for society. However, wealth is the thing you want for yourself. Innovation is key. Society today has become a technology-centric world with a thirst for innovation. In order to become wealthy, you have to scout what new things the market demands, but does not yet have access to, and using your own skills and capabilities, work on creating and proving it. Once you figure out what technological innovation is needed, you must learn how to scale it and make it abundantly available to everyone. For example, Steve Jobs and his team figured out that people wanted smartphones that are small, portable computers, and so worked on a way to create and scale it. When we talk about specific and unique knowledge, sales skills come to mind. Especially within startups and venture capital settings, we encounter people who seem to have a natural affinity for sales, and they are really good at their jobs. Sales skills are taught, not in classrooms, but from their immediate environment while growing up through interaction with friends in school or while negotiating with parents. And these initial raw skills can always be improved. Empower your specific knowledge. When you pursue your innate talent, genuine curiosity, and passion, you stumble upon your specific knowledge. It's not about targeting the hottest jobs or industries, but rather about building and marketing something that is an extension of yourself. No one will be able to compete with you on that. Becoming a perpetual learner is a fundamental skill. For getting rich, you have to condition yourself to know how to learn whatever you want to learn. Adopting the conventional style of doing a 4-year college program and getting a degree, then working for 30 years as a professional has become obsolete. Nowadays, you have to come up to speed on a new profession within 9 months. Although this fast-paced profession probably won't last long, you will achieve wealth. Instead of studying the right thing for a long time, it is more important to become an expert in a brand new field. The importance of ownership. In order to become rich, owning equity is important. Ownership is key to having financial independence in which passive income is earned even while you are on vacation. In contrast, when you are working for a fixed wage, even though you are making money, you have not yet achieved financial freedom. People who believe that making money by putting in the work necessary is the road to wealth are misled. This path isn't going to work if you keep denying the importance of ownership. Without ownership, your inputs are very closely intertwined with your outputs, and hence your earnings are interrupted in periods when you are not active. And when you do not earn linearly, you cannot accumulate wealth and get rich. When you are working for someone else, your employers take on the risk and the responsibility, but they also own the intellectual property and the brand. The owner of any business you work for will never pay you enough, but rather provide the minimum wage needed for you to do your job. It could be a high wage, but it cannot be called true wealth since you stop earning when you retire. Therefore, owning equity, whether through starting a company or investing in a business, is essential to reaching true wealth. The value of your time. With the advent of the internet, profitable opportunities have become vastly abundant. Even though he identifies many opportunities to make money, Naval simply does not have the time for all of them. Time is valuable, so be aware of your value when assigning your personal hourly rate. Always aim for the highest rate possible. Be sure to factor time in every decision you ever take. Naval advises setting a high hourly rate and sticking to it, even though it may seem absurd. In fact, know that it's the right rate when it does feel absurd. Innate happiness is true happiness. In order to achieve true happiness, you have to learn about your own innate happiness over the years. However, answers that may work for you may not make sense to other individuals and vice versa. Therefore, it is essential to explore what these definitions are. When we get rid of the feeling of something missing in our life, we achieve a default state of happiness. Furthermore, the constant urge to seek something or regret not having something traps you in this whirlwind of desires and prevents you from achieving a continuous state of happiness. Happiness is not about solely having positive thoughts and actions, because every positive moment holds within itself a negative one. You have to experience the negative and the bad in order to achieve the positive and the great. Being in the present. Naval believes that desires are negative thoughts, and the fewer desires he has, the more he is inclined to accept things as they are, which will root his mind in the present. Desires and their negativity stem from moving between past and future without being in the present. Happiness and contentment come from being in the present. Naval continually emphasizes that happiness in his own definition is about not suffering, not desiring, not thinking too much about the future or the past, but rather basking in the present moment and the reality of what is. Naval believes that life isn't so hard, and that we tend to impose hardship on our daily life. He frowns upon using the word should and refrains from using it. Doing something you should be doing implies that you do not actually want to do it. Fixing from the inside. Society dictates that we should look for external factors to achieve happiness. However, training ourselves to be happy is an internal process that has nothing to do with external factors. It's a single-player game where you're up against your own self. Jealousy was the hardest emotion Naval had to overcome. Jealousy is a toxic emotion that brings a bulk of unhappiness into your life. In order to overcome this emotion, Naval came to the realization that when you are jealous of someone, you cannot pick one aspect of that person and claim that it is the only missing part in your life. In order to justify jealousy, you must want to completely be that other person. Once Naval came to this conclusion, jealousy faded away because he did not want to be anyone else but himself. Happiness through small habits. Naval introduces tricks he applied diligently to become happier. Although they were difficult and entailed dedicating a lot of attention, they have become second nature due to continuous practice. The first trick is to become highly self-aware of every moment, which can be achieved through insight meditation. You become aware of your actions and are able to guide the situation towards a positive outcome. Other tricks are much simpler than insight meditation and require less effort, such as stopping caffeine and exercising regularly. All of these brought Naval an ample amount of happiness. Furthermore, he recommends less judgment, because as you judge, you become less in sync with yourself. And although judgment might bring you temporary satisfaction, you will feel lonely later on, and that will draw negative energy all around you. Screen-related activities bring unhappiness. Aim to cut back on them and instead engage in serotonin-producing activities such as getting sunlight, exercising, and positive thinking. Tryptophan also helps with this. The best version of yourself. Naval does not believe in goals, but rather in system creation. Put your judgment to use by figuring out the type of environment you thrive in, and aim at creating that environment in order to maximize your chances of success. Do not aim to be the best person on the planet, but rather at being the best version of yourself while working the least possible. All you need to achieve such a system is to engage your functioning body and mind, which are currently at your disposal. Freedom. Naval highlights freedom as one of his core values, and he emphasizes how its definition between his past and present has changed. Back then, it was about the ability to do anything he wanted whenever he wanted, and now it's about finding internal freedom. This internal freedom is a freedom from reaction, anger, sadness, and being forced to do things. He wants freedom from expectations and does not indulge in self-measurement. Never be concerned with other people's expectations, and if they get hurt because you have disappointed them in some way, that's their problem and not yours. Naval also wants freedom from uncontrolled thinking. Just like a child engaging with the world, he wants to live in the moment and react to his environment through his instincts. He names the world seen through a child's eyes the real world,